Is it possible for a single empress to cause a giant civil war that almost takes down an entire dynasty? Oh, you bet, and we're going to tell you all about it in this episode of Learn Chinese Now. Hey everyone, I'm Jared Madsen, and this is Learn Chinese Now. Today, we're going to hear a great story about how fragile family love can be, especially if there's someone in your family who's killing everybody. Jia Nanfeng is one of the most powerful female leaders in all of China's history, but also maybe the most vicious, and whose actions were so treacherous that she turned the royal family against itself. But if you like what we're doing here, please like, subscribe, and become a member by clicking the join button below. It will help us to make more videos about coups, assassinations, and other such lovely things. So our story starts in the Jin Dynasty, or Jin Chao. Now, the Jin Dynasty is interesting because it was founded by a big clan called Sima, and the Sima clan was part of the court of the dynastic state of Wei. But the Simas were so big and so powerful that one day they just came in and said, "Hey Emperor, out of the way, it's our turn now." One of them became emperor, but he still had to appease all the other members of the clan that helped him take power. So he made all of them independent princes, each with their own territory and their own army. The one thing that held them together was that all of them would respect the dynastic succession. So our heroine starts off as the daughter of an official in the Jin Dynasty, and her dad is really worried that he's going to be shipped off to the frontier to fight rebels. So he figures if he can somehow marry into the royal family, he'll get let off the hook. He goes and tries to convince the emperor to have his son marry Lady Jia, but the emperor isn't having it. In his words, the Jia family lacks male children, and Lady Jia is jealous, ugly, short, and dark-skinned. Well then, so Mr. Jia goes to his wife and says, help me out here. Good thing is, Mrs. Jia knows the Empress pretty well, and she gets her daughters to leave a good impression. Eventually, the Empress overrides her husband, and Lady Jia marries Sima Zhong, the crown prince. She's 15, and he's 13, and the emperor ends up being right about her. Lady Jia bears her husband 4 daughters, not a single son. But what she lacks in the son production department, she more than makes up for with jealousy. The crown prince has 2 other concubines that get pregnant, and Lady Jia kills both of them, one by one. The emperor is shocked when he hears about this and wants to get rid of her, but one of his wives is friends with Lady Jia and convinces him to spare her life. Now, there's a really important part of the story that I need to mention. The crown prince is mentally disabled. He can barely understand simple issues, let alone complex ones that you would need to govern an entire country. Now, you might be wondering, so how on earth could the government allow him to be in line to become the next emperor? So, whenever official documents come into the crown prince's office, Lady Jia always has someone forge his handwriting. They answer the questions correctly each time, but with very basic words, as if they're a simpleton. So in the end, people start to think, okay, I guess he's good enough. Soon, the emperor dies, and the crown prince becomes Emperor Hui, or Jin Hui Di. Lady Jia becomes Empress Jia, and she immediately starts to take over the country by manipulating her husband to do whatever she tells him to do. But it's not going to be that easy. You see, the emperor has a regent named Yang Jun, who helps him to run the country. And Yang sets up a system that every time the emperor signs an edict, the Empress Dowager, who's the widow of the former emperor, has to sign off on it as well. The Empress Dowager also happens to be Yang's daughter. This ticks Jia off immensely, and she decides to take it out on the Yang family. She gathers powerful court officials, generals, and even some of her husband's brothers, each of which control an army of their own to set into action. She has the emperor write an edict declaring that Yang Jun has committed crimes and needs to be fired. At the same time, she sends her allied armies after the Yang family army. The Empress Dowager, who's trapped in the palace, tries to warn others by shooting an arrow out of the palace with a description of the plot. But she gets found out and jailed for treason. The Yang clan's army is overwhelmed and massacred, and Yang Jun is gone. Two new regions, Sima Liang and Wei Guan, are put into place with the idea that they won't try to mess with the Empress anymore. But even these two try to rein in her power, and so Empress Jia goes for coup number 2. You see, there's a general that these two regions really hate, named Sima Wei. Sima Wei is known for his violent temper, and the two regions want him removed. So the Empress decides to play the two sides off one another. She convinces Sima Wei that the two regions are plotting to kill the emperor. She gets the emperor to write another edict removing the two regions from office. But instead of just letting them be common citizens, she kills them, along with everyone in their families. But now that the two regions are gone, the empress starts getting worried that Sima Wei is getting too powerful. So then, she gets the emperor to declare that Sima Wei had forged the edict and that the emperor had no intention of harming the two regions. Forging an imperial document is treason, and so Sima Wei is captured and executed. Now, the Empress Jia has absolute power, and she is totally out of control. She has affairs with all sorts of men, and then when she gets worried that they might talk about it, she has them killed. No one knows what to do about her. But there's one court official who tries a different tactic. He writes her a poem. Zhang Hua's 80-line poem, Admonitions of the Court Instructress, was combined with paintings to become one of the most famous works of art in all of Chinese history. Zhang describes 12 scenes, each showing how a proper court lady should act. She should be quiet, meek, deferential to her husband, and always willing to sacrifice her ego and even her life if needed. It's the best version of painting, poetry, and calligraphy of the era. As beautiful as the poem is, it appears to have no effect on the Empress, and now she starts working on her most evil coup. You see, one of the Emperor's concubines bore him a son named Sima Yu, and he's the crown prince and the line to be emperor. Moreover, he's beloved in the palace. All of this makes Emperor Jia extremely jealous, and she resolves to destroy him. So, one day, the crown prince comes to the palace with a petition. He wants to have his son made a prince. Empress Jia invites him to have a feast with her first, and then, when he's completely drunk, she tricks him into signing his name onto a letter that says he wants the emperor to step down in favor of him. This is obviously treason, and the empress has reason to get him executed for this. But everyone loves the crown prince, so she can't just kill him outright. She has to have his power removed. But she keeps thinking about the crown prince, worrying that he might mount a comeback. So she quietly sends assassins to his house and has him murdered. This is a step too far, and one of the Sima clan's princes, named Sima Lun, takes action. He storms the palace, kills all of Jia's officials, and forces the empress to drink a wine with gold shavings in it, which makes her die. Wine with gold shavings, how'd that kill you? Well, it turns out that the gold is something more similar to brass, and the process that refines it creates mercury. So, you're basically dying from mercury poisoning. Now, if he had stopped there, things might have ended peacefully. But Sima Lun also deposes the emperor and declares himself emperor. This is too much for the princes. The peace between the various princes is based on the idea that all of them would respect the imperial clan succession. The princes split into pro-emperor and anti-emperor factions, duking it out in a bloody war that greatly weakens the empire. China had been completely united under the Jin Dynasty. But now the country splits into 16 different states, and the Jin Dynasty is never the same. And it was all because an emperor decided to marry his son to a, in his words, jealous, ugly, short, and dark-skinned girl. Oh, well, do you like stories like this of treachery and dastardly deeds? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, 再见!